Hi, everybody. It's Marcelin of Stress Talk Live with Marcelin. Hey, I didn't go live yesterday because, not yesterday, on Sunday, because I was traveling. I had business things out of town. And so I couldn't get on my computer to go live with you. I missed you. But I wanted to share with you some of the things that happened to me when I was traveling. So you know that Southwest Airlines had that debacle over the weekend where they canceled over 2,000 flights. Well, I was caught up in that. And I wanted to share with you how my practice of mindfulness helped me through that whole thing. It was really an experience. And I just wanted to share it with you. So if you don't mind giving me just a few moments, I'm going to try to convince you to join me in the practice of mindfulness. Hi there. So, you know that I've been talking about mindfulness. Oh, I have a shadow, a sun. The sun's coming through my window. So, if you see that light shining, it's the sun. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I say, it's all right. Okay. Anyway, we're talking about mindfulness, and we've been talking about mindfulness for the past week or couple of weeks. And it's going to be a theme for me because I have I have grown so much as I've practiced mindfulness, and I want to share that with you. You know, we have all kinds of stressors. When an event happens, it builds our stress levels. Our stress levels go up and up and up and up and up. And with mindfulness practice, we are able not only to manage those events, we can manage our response to those events. Now, I want to say that mindfulness is not something that you just click on and click off, right? You incorporate the practice into your lifestyle. And when you incorporate the practice into your lifestyle, it becomes a way of life, really. I mean, think about eating habits. Some people have chosen to become vegetarians. Some people have chosen to become vegans. And it is a lifestyle. It's so ingrained in the way that you function, in the way that you move, in the way that you do your things, that it's a part of every aspect of your life. Mindfulness can be so helpful when it becomes just a part of your life, when it's interwoven with the things that you think, feel, believe, right? It is a practice that has by or side effects of calm, peace, and relaxation. And all of us like that, right? We like to be peaceful. We like feeling calm and we love being relaxed. So the side effects of a mindfulness practice are peace and relaxation. Now, that is not necessarily the what mindfulness is striving for. When you practice mindfulness, it's not necessarily to relax or to calm yourself. The practice of mindfulness is to enable to become aware of every moment in your life, being aware and attuned to every moment. And when I say that, I want to say that we want to live in a way that we are noticing each moment. So, and miss anything because it's easy to miss something. I think in a previous um, broadcast, I talked about going to a soccer match, a U.S. women's team soccer match, and I turned my head and there was a goal. Right? I missed it. It was a split second. I missed it. Imagine all of the moments that we miss on a day to day basis because our attention and our awareness are somewhere else. We're either projecting our thoughts into the future, wondering what we're going to do, what we're going to say, where we're going to be, or we're in the past thinking about what we've done, what someone has done or said to us, stuck either in the future or the past, but we're not fully invested in the present. So, this past weekend, mindfulness kicked in, right? Like I said, it's not something that you turn on or off. It is a way of being. So this is what happened. I left home. I flew out of Savannah, Georgia, at about 6:24 this weekend, and I had to meet a connecting flight at BWI Airport. That was Baltimore Washington International Airport. For those of you who don't fly or don't know what BWI stands for, I was flying into BWI. So the flight from Savannah left on time, and before we landed, I received a text saying that my flight from my connecting flight had been delayed. Well, that that's not usually a problem for me, but in this instance, it did make me think, if the flight is delayed, then I'm going to have to let my daughter know because my daughter was going to meet me at the airport when I reached my destination in Cleveland, Ohio. So I needed to let her know. Well, by the time we landed and deboarded, not only had my flight been delayed, the time kept changing. And over the course of the evening, the time changed like 3 or 4 times to the point where my connecting flight from BWI to Cleveland Hopkins Airport was supposed to leave at 9:35, and it was changed to leave at 11:55. So yeah, 11:55 from 9:35. Can you imagine? Imagine that. And people were in the airport, they were stressed, they were concerned, they were trying to figure out what they were going to do. It was very interesting for me because I I didn't get stressed about it. I was very clear about what I needed to do. I needed to let my daughter know that the flight was delayed and the time it was delayed, the projected time it would leave. I also called my best friend who lives near the BWI airport to alert her to the possibility that I might need to stay overnight, that the flight was canceled. To make a long story short, my flight from BWI to Cleveland Hopkins Airport did not leave until 12:30 that evening. Yep, 12:30 that evening. No, I take that back. It was closer to 1 o'clock. Yeah, closer to 1 o'clock that evening. That's when the flight left BWI. Now, how did mindfulness help me? And I'm going to speak on a personal note because I'm usually I'm usually not a calm person. I usually want things the way I want them. I want the information. I want to know when I'm leaving. I want it the exact. That's really that has been my personality up until the time that I really started practicing mindfulness fully. When I was at the airport, one of the things that I kept reminding myself was that I can accept this situation. And acceptance doesn't mean that I was like, oh, well, there's nothing I can do. Acceptance was really, I didn't have to be um, imprisoned by my feelings about the situation. I didn't have to play it over and over in my mind. Um, I didn't have to struggle with that situation. I was free. And because I could say it is what it is, this is where things are now. I am safe, I am secure, I've made plans. I could say I wasn't struggling. I was not emotionally, I wasn't struggling mentally, and I certainly wasn't struggling physically because BWI has wonderful restaurants in the terminal. They have great restaurants. So I wasn't struggling. The facilities were fine, right? I also approached the situation with an openness. I was curious. It was like, we talk about having a beginner's mind. I looked at this situation without preconceived notions. I haven't flown on Southwest Airlines in quite a long while. And so I didn't have any preconceived notions about what should happen, when it should happen, and how they should respond. It was all new. It was like opening, it was interesting to me. I was more curious about how other people were responding than I was. As a matter of fact, when we're open, when we're open, we open ourselves to possibilities. We really open ourselves to things that we may not have expected in the first place. I had a very wonderful conversation with a pilot, an airline pilot, um, while I was waiting. And it was enlightening. I learned some new things about the company that he worked for. I learned a little bit about his life. I also shared a bit about my life. And I know you see the sun shining in my eyes there. I'm going to turn a little bit. There we go. So I shared a little about my life, but it was a very nice conversation, impromptu. We were both charging our phones. So I felt really great because it made me happy to have spoken with this person, um, and it made me excited to learn about learn more about the company that he worked for. The other thing that I struggle with personally is judgment. And in mindfulness, we are taught to and encouraged to be non judgmental. And with judgment, it's based on our opinions, our expectations, our hopes, our dreams, it's based on all of those things too. And with non judgment, it's hard, right? Because we have opinions about things, we do have expectations about what should happen and how things should be in our lives and in the world around us. And this is one areas that in which I continue to grow because it is a struggle for me not to be judgmental. Well, the thing about mindfulness is that because it's so difficult and because it's so automatic, because judgment is a habit for us, the idea behind non judgment is to be aware of judgment is made and also to not be judgmental about being judgmental. So during the evening, Friday evening, it was the same. I could recognize when I was being opinionated. I could recognize when I was um, thinking or imposing expectations on the situation or on others around me in my mind. I could recognize that and acknowledge it, and I could let them go. I could let it go. I didn't have to beat myself up because I was being judgmental. And I also didn't have to beat myself up because I know that it is a struggle for me and I'm growing in that. So, being non judgmental allows clarity. I told you that I could make the phone call, let my daughter know when I was expected to arrive, letting her know that there could be changes. I could also call my best friend and say, "Hey, I'm in your airport just in case." And have my best friend say, "No problem, just let me know. I'll come get you." Also, when we are non judgmental, it increases our awareness about what's happening around us as well as what's happening inside of us. We can be authentic. We can be truly ourselves when we are in a non judgmental mode. In talking to the gentleman who was the pilot, it was funny because I was really myself. When he told me that he worked for, I went, "Oh my God, really? You work for that company? We love that company." And it was just so exciting because he got excited about it. He said, "Yeah, I really like working for this company." He was really excited. So, you can be yourself, you can be authentically who you are. Another experience that I had that fits in with the foundations of mindfulness was non striving. The situation in itself was, I couldn't do anything about it, right? I couldn't do anything about my flight being delayed and concerned about it being canceled. I know that it's the sun, you all, shining in my forehead right here. I couldn't do anything about that. And so it really caused me to um, not strive. I wasn't trying to fix it, I wasn't trying to change it. I was able to just be. I could sit in the airport and just be. I didn't feel a need to work to change it, right? I didn't feel like I needed to find another flight. I didn't feel like I needed to go to another airline. I could just be. And that's what I did. I was there. I was observing the people. I was enjoying people, had other conversations with other people and laughed, talked. It was a way that I could let go of the stress, let go of the concerns, and just let go of the situation itself. I was free. So I wanted to share this experience with you because so often when we are in situations like this, we fall back on our habits. We start doing the things that we're used to doing, the things that we're accustomed to doing, and those do not always serve us because our habits sometimes cause us to have increased stress. They also cause us to feel emotionally insecure. Sometimes they cause us to have mental concerns because we feel either depressed or anxious. And it causes us to have physical reactions. So we want to, or I want to encourage you to really consider looking at mindfulness, learning about the mindfulness practices that you can incorporate into your life so that when you're faced with situations like this, like the one that I was in, you will be able to walk through with clarity, with awareness of your response to the situation. You can be authentic and you can experience freedom. Well, that's it for now. I'm Marcelin Bailey. I hope you liked this impromptu stress talk with Marcelin, although I have this shining light, the sunlight on my forehead. We'll be back on Sunday with our regular live broadcast. And we're going to continue talking about mindfulness and how mindfulness can help you as much as it's helping me. I'm Marcelin Bailey. That's all for now. Take good care.